best of 3. So this is straight up. It doesn't matter what the score is. Whoever wins the series is first place in the group. So a little bit of a seeding difference. I know it's, again, like, we're going to have second place and stuff finished or decided in Group B as well. That still is to be decided, and we're not going to cast a replay for that. I'm sorry. I just thought MaxPax Kelazhur was, like, probably the best match of this entire Group A. It would be really a shame not to cover this one. So, obviously, this is the one we're going to prioritize. And then, like I said, I'm pretty happy with what we've covered today. It's been a lengthy enough stream for sure. And, yeah, playoffs start tomorrow, guys. That's the other thing as well. I want to make sure I actually have the playoff bracket and schedule sent to players before people start going to sleep tonight. So they know if they need to play tomorrow or not. The players who said they could play tomorrow. Like I said, I need to do a little bit of math and figuring out on the actual official full schedule. But yeah, we'll do that on stream for a little bit of fun at the very end. You guys can see the chaos involved and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it'll be fun. Sure. What's up, Airwave HD94? How you doing? As we'll follow a probe across the map early and go see what we are up to. Proby, what we gonna do? What we gonna do when we come for you? Cyber Core coming up from MaxPax. The Reaper coming in on the side of Kelazhur. And our probe is going to start nibbling up the SCV already, so some damage being dealt in these early stages. The SCV getting there and the probe getting pushed back for the moment. Now our probe is going to leave us. It's so nice knowing you, probing. Go back home. We're going to go and follow this Reaper instead. Reaper coming across the map to try and get some damage done in these early stages. And, of course, more importantly, probably is to scout a little bit as well, of course. We know that that's also a pretty important role of the Reaper, right, guys? Get some information, figure out what MaxPax is up to. Especially MaxPax, who can be a pretty tricky player, right? You know, he is absolutely somebody that can come in, a bit of a shocker sometimes. You know, pull out some cool stuff. Yeah, expecting this to be a fun few moments, but it is cut short as the Reaper just dies, and, well, now we are back to the drawing board. I mean, he got the Scout and the Stargate at least, so that's nice. Knowing not to have the Reaper still around is now go tech lab on this factory. This is factory before you expand, and then a high ground expand too, so really very safe from Kelazhur. Not a bad thing to be against MaxPax, who can be a super aggressive player, right? Absolutely can bring that aggression when you least expect it. Crank out a bunch of different early game builds. So just being able to say, yeah, you know what, I'm happy not taking my CC straight away sometimes. That's a very good power to be able to have, right? That's a very good thing to be able to just say, yep, I'm okay in this scenario, I'm good. Let's just get this going. Adept coming up the ramp here and starting to take a few shots from a few Marines. We'll get the Cyclone to lock on and chase this Adept away. So Adept does get pushed out of there to begin with. Just going to see our Cyclone beginning from Kelazhur in the main. The Medevac still coming through. All this rallying together at the front. Also, the Warp Gate coming up from MaxPax, so bringing that through as well. Just going to see our Marines, a couple of them going to be popping out, and we can obviously head towards this Medevac also. Now 2 Phoenix of MaxPax out down to the south, and they're going to run straight into this Medevac as Cyclone drops down, going to chase a couple of the Phoenix away right from the very get-go. And the Viking on the way up here still from Kelazhur as well. Continue to bring that through. And this is actually going to be a pretty nice push he's got going on this third. No, I mean, this Phoenix count is low HP for what it is. It's definitely not great. And yeah, this third is in trouble. I mean, that's likely a cancel. Phoenix actually just baited a lock-on and then ran away. Same with the Stalker, but I'm not sure it's really going to save the base. MaxPax is fly blocked from the loss as well, so no current warp-ins available. That is a cancelled third base, and Kelazhur has got to be feeling good about the first couple minutes of game 1. Canceling the third, and now are we getting too greedy into the natural? Well, without a battery here, I'm going to say no, probably not. You can get some kills for sure. I mean, even if you just pressure in another pylon. Let's see, we do have the Cyclones currently locked on. One to a Phoenix, one to a Probe. A Phoenix goes down. I mean, if we're killing Phoenix, I don't think we mind too much. A second Phoenix going down. Viking showing up. Do we land it? Yes. I feel like... Okay, the Phoenix died anyway, so I don't really mind. 15 probes going down? Oh my god. That is a massacre of an early game. 15 dead probes. The Viking gets another Stalker as well. We're killing another Stalker off, but really I think we should actually be going for the couple of probes here. The Marines are going to go for the Stalker. The probes pulled to defend it. Seriously, though, that was a crazy few moments, all in favor of Kelazhur. Yeah, his army gets wiped and cleared out, but resources lost. 2.7k to 1.8k. Third base cancelled, not able to rebuild while you're under that pressure. Down 5 workers. The situation in Game 1 here for MaxPax is dire. Twilight Council finished, but we've not started an upgrade yet. We will go charge, so we're going to start seeing that being brought into play. Jeez. MaxPax will take an expansion on the triangle setup now as Stim Combat and +1 comes in. I mean, the nice thing for MaxPax is that this game will go on for at least a minute and a half to give him some recovery time, because Kelazhur isn't going to look to attack again until this set of upgrades are finishing. Charge going through, Phoenix still in production. The Forge will be finishing on the back here from MaxPax as we rally everything between the bases. Stim +1, Combat Shield all continuing up, and a couple of Phoenix will fly into the main and wanting to try and get to the natural. Obviously, the Phoenix at least can provide some vision and some ideas as to what's going on for a while, so you can keep up to date with all of that and know roughly what your opponent's doing. Maybe see where you can draw the line at too greedy and, you know, just staying alive still. Work count still down. Kelazhur still very comfortable in that regard. As Kelazhur finishes +1, can we not just go and attack? His own third CC now lands. Maybe afraid of some Zealot counterattacks if he goes too heavily across the map, but isn't that always a threat? I mean, you can't just sit back home and do nothing forever because of the potential Zealot counterattack, right? That would be, less than ideal, to say the least. Yeah. Unit count right now, 14 Zealots. There's only 4 Phoenix as well, though, so it's not like you even have, like, a ton of Phoenix to lift up mines, so the Zealots shouldn't have a great time against this army anyway. I just feel like Kelazhur could have gone a little bit sooner. You know, he's definitely given MaxPax more time than he maybe should have had. And let's see where Kelazhur goes, because if he goes around the right, I guess then you've got to kind of push into a potential surround from the left and the top to actually get anywhere meaningful, right, as well. So that's not ideal against the Zealots. You're not going to maybe get towards the natural here, so let's see. Looks like MaxPax is happy to run into him. First force fields are pretty good. The Widow Mines will blow up a lot of these Zealots, however, so a lot of Zealots beginning to go down, and just going to be seeing more of these bio units getting lifted off. Well, that's probably going to be the end of this attack, as all the mines go down as well, and Kelazhur doesn't just a few extra units to the end for free as the Phoenix get the lifts off, so actually MaxPax a good job of evening out the numbers in army at least. But is he doing okay? Well, actually, he's done really good in resource loss. Is he doing okay in workers? Still really could have done with a few more, but obviously no 4th base to send more than 66 to, so I guess it's not too much of a priority as the 4th base starts. I would like to see some worker production resumed. Get that 4th base mining pretty much as soon as it gets online, and that's exactly what MaxPax decided is going to be the best way of playing things as well. So starts up those extra rounds of probes. What happens now is that Kelazhur probably feels, man, this was going so good for me, and now I've kind of lost my momentum. And now it feels difficult to kind of motivate yourself to go onto the map, because it's like, wow, I just lost my momentum. If I had such a lead before and I went on the map and it didn't work, why would it work going out on the map now? And I always feel like the Terrans struggle with this a bit, because the Protoss players just kind of come out and they're like, yeah, well, yeah, now what? And Kelazhur probably feels if he moves out on the map, again, the Zealot run-bys are going to start hitting as well, and that's something he's got to be worried about, and he's definitely not wrong. MaxPax is already thinking about it, so there's a lot of questions at the moment for Kelazhur here. Kelazhur is getting Ghost up, and I don't mind waiting for Ghost for a fight, because to be fair, Ghost shred most things that the Protoss is working with at the moment. But we are, obviously, in that time, getting to Colossus, so it's not like the Protoss tech is stationary and stagnating on just Phoenix Zealot. It is continuing to improve. This Orbs of MaxPax just sits, watching absolutely every maneuver Kelazhur makes out front of his base. You're going to see the Bio Army pressing forward and looking for potentially a grab on this pylon, grab on the gateway. Shut that down. The +2 attack upgrade is going to be finishing from MaxPax in the next few moments. We do have 2-2 continuing out of the engineering base as well. Kelazhur currently making his way forward. High army around the right, just going to be seeing the army of MaxPax continue to warp in. The extra zealots coming through here as we do have our Phoenix taking some shots. Just have a few zealots coming down this ramp. Widowmine's already turning around to hit these zealots a little bit. Big EMP, sentries taking damage. A couple Colossi firing up a storm and everything else as well. 7 workers going down. 2-2 upgrades coming up. 7 more zealots in production here. Kelazhur at least sitting to try dust through this MaxPax army. It's the couple of Colossi I guess we're really afraid of at this stage, right? It's getting to the point where the Colossi will be pretty scary. Ooh, Widowmines continue to go off on the Phoenix. Well, that's nice. Remove some of the support here for the Protoss player is never going to be a bad thing. Another one lands. This time the Zealot splits away. Only a sentry eating some of the splash damage. So that at least was a little bit more Protoss friendly of a Widowmine. Kelazhur comes up here, hits the EMP, so no recall available. Not as really needed on the army. But was also hitting the battery with the EMP there. And that just means it's a nice, easy pick-off for him. He stands to fight. I do stand by the Colossi being the scariest part of this right now. And as he kills off the base, great. He's got a little counterattack going on for 7 SCVs. He's also killing workers. Widowmine here denying this base from coming online. I do like that because obviously that's the obvious next place for MaxPax to expand to. Because he could have started that expansion when he started to lose the 12 o'clock. Now he actually had to wait for the 12 o'clock to die and Kelazhur to get pushed back before he could then re-expand, so that just makes it take a little bit longer for a base to come online. So I do like this Widowmine. Obviously has potential to get another probe kill or 2, making up for some of the SCV losses that happened due to the running in Zealots. We keep mentioning them because they're going to be a very big part of this continued TVP game. As Kelazhur is once more moving out here on Tropical, sacrifice through the bridges. And looking like he's going to go north. Well, he knows the expansion isn't in the bottom right. This mine's blocked it for so long. So the only logical place is to go back up here and to attack there once more. MaxPax is a bit out of location here, actually, as we do see some bio units will be dealt with by Zealots. This is 100% a re-cancel on this base. So cancel goes down. We will just start backing it up. He sees a good EMP and he takes it. Fighting off the Phoenix as well, so less support once again on the Protoss side. Less to work with. That's our army of MaxPax moving through the top a little bit. The +3, +2 on the way as well. So his upgrades continuing. We'll have better upgrades or better attack, but worse armor for a bit. Kelazhur doing enough to stay ahead in this game. I mean, the lead early was definitely huge, and MaxPax definitely closed that lead a lot. So, you know, it was up to Kelazhur to then kind of restabilize and refigure out what the plan was. And I would say, like I say, doing a very good job of keeping up pressure, killing off enough stuff that it keeps MaxPax behind. And it really keeps MaxPax from ever entering, like, God mode stage, right? Where he's, like, able to play, like, a really solid late game. We're getting there with Disruptors on the way, Dark Shrine on the way, but he doesn't have the economy at all to do that. So, while MaxPax is trying to make steps towards it, it's not super successful steps just yet, at least. A couple of probes going straight down. The Zealots coming over, Disruptor shot fires. Only one, actually it was 2 ghosts that went down there, the other one coming in. We actually flank in a bit, we're going to flank the Colossus, we catch one. Oh, that Disruptor shot from the high ground was pretty juicy though. This Disruptor gets 15 kills. If it wasn't for that Disruptor, this game might be ending because the extra units here from Kelazhur would have been doing great. Now he's moved commanding forward. Kelazhur's having a nightmare of a fight. This is not what he was looking for at all. We lose some medevacs as we get out, and my goodness, what a wild moment or two in this engagement in MaxPax. Doesn't come out ahead, but he comes back in a better spot, and I feel like he's been in for a while. Definitely taking a lot of the map control and just army size away from Kelazhur. And obviously that's a big deal, because MaxPax's own army's pretty scary, but he doesn't have time or economy in this game to sit back, so maybe now is his time to push and take advantage and maybe make the difference before Kelazhur can recover from what was a truly dreadful fight. Disruptors are back off cooldown, we go running, but we lose a ghost anyway. His next disruptor shot forces the lift. Kelazhur currently not with the bio units that he needs to save this. And on the bottom side, yep, our first DT is showing up, and that is, of course, a problem as well. Also in the top left, so DTs, at least in the bottom right, we have a mine. Top left, I guess, we'll probably just have to lift this CC if Kelazhur is paying enough attention. Knock down the sensors are important to remove the vision here for Kelazhur. He doesn't know what he's playing against as much anymore. Oh, Widowmine's left over here. Just got 11 probes, though. It's not like MaxPax's economy is in a great state. This planetary is not online yet to help you defend this position. There's Disruptor shot zoning, but that was 2 of the 3, so this is the last one. Now there's nothing to zone this Terran army back with for a while, and this is prime time to go and take advantage. A couple of Vikings will chip through Colossi nicely here, and if the Stalkers target those Vikings, maybe the bio lasts long enough. Extra round of Zealots was 100% needed. Without those Zealots, this bio army is on top of Stalkers and Disruptors right now. The Zealots came in at the right time. The CC did lift and cancel. This one gets online at least. And Kelazhur is going to decide that now is a good time to dart across the map because this army's stuck in the bottom right. Recall is available, but obviously if you hit the EMP on the Nexus before the recall, then you can at least stop the recall to that specific base. He sees that the Colossi and the Disruptors are still here too, so I think for Kelazhur, this is a race to get across and to cancel this top side 12 o'clock 4th base, which he's done a couple times already. Can he find it one more time without it being too costly? The problem is he's going to get surrounded by this Protoss army. Coming in from the bottom side. Well, MaxPax decides to just fall away. MaxPax decides there are better fights to take later in the game. The base is already dead, and he doesn't believe he's truly got Kelazhur trapped in here. So he lets Kelazhur walk with it for the moment. Skipping back to the upper left, we will get rid of the DT that's been camping this space for a while, and Kelazhur will just try to get this one online. And a game that Kelazhur continues to control has just been, again, shaky. He's had these moments where MaxPax is caught back up, only for him to jump back ahead again, and MaxPax is caught back up to jump back ahead again. That's kind of been the story. Is now Kelazhur probably likes this fight. If MaxPax moves up here and he goes bottom right, top left, and just comes in from 2 directions, hell yeah, that surround is the one that goes in the highlight reel. Word goes, getting chased down. EMP drops, and the Disruptor firing forward. Just going to be seeing MaxPax moving away to the right side. Bio Army wants to come down this ramp. A couple of Disruptor shots fired, but don't really land. So maybe seeing our Disruptor shots continuing through. Disruptor going down, and we do have ourselves Kelazhur getting up to the top. Another Disruptor firing, but not landing just yet. EMP drops, and these Zealots being chipped away at still. And once more, Kelazhur knows where he wants to go. He wants to deny this base. This poor base has just not been allowed to live at all. 2 Nexus kills in the game. They were both up here, and we're looking for another one now. Even gonna line up a nuke to zone a little bit. We're gonna kill 1 Disruptor there. His army's getting heavily overstimmed, though. Is there enough Protoss to punish that at all? Disruptors honestly continue to hit very well, but the supplies are telling me that Kelazhur is winning this no matter what still, so until those supplies change, I'm going to continue to say that Kelazhur is looking pretty good. I mean, I'm sure he's got a lot of reinforcements on the way that are going to help out a lot in the next few moments. We do have this army pushed back, but there's the reinforcements already showing up, and of course MaxPax just doesn't have the money to rebuild with. He's even going to type GG, doesn't believe himself that he can continue to come through and win this game. Kelazhur finding a 20-minute win. If Kelazhur loses this series, he would be 13-4 on maps, and MaxPax would be 12-3. 13-4 is a +9 map score. 12-3 is a +9 map score. That is the same, and then it goes to head-to-head, which would be MaxPax's victory. So a series victory is needed for first place in the group to avoid Spirit in the playoffs. We don't know who second place in Group B is yet. Likely to be a Laser, looking at the current scores. Like I say, we're going to go through the Group B replays at supersonic speed, find out the results, and find out our playoff bracket. after this best of 3. MaxPax bottom right, Kelazhur top left, Moondance for map number 2. And the first game was a fantastic start to this TVP series. Let's hope for more of the same. Let's see what we can get. Again, double gas, gonna go factory before expansion here. Kelazhur pretty happy to continue forward with that for the moment. Not really too surprising or anything. You say so myself. CV chasing around the probe. Probe that goes to nibble on the SCV, and both these SCVs gonna go chasing our probe down. Our probe that gets recalled out of here and brought back to the main base. So away we go. Exciting start. Let's see if our Reaper can live longer this game. Obviously, last game was a bit of a disaster for the Reaper. Died so quickly, so early on. This time we got a couple nibbles on a probe, but that's it. He does scout the Stargate as well. So, yeah, good scout for the Reaper. Good start. And he's still alive to be more annoying further down the line. Wonderful. But you'll have to see from your Reaper for sure. Adept is a chasing, and that Reaper gonna take one hit. Doesn't take two. As we get out over to the right. Cyclone is still coming up. A couple of Marines coming in. Our Stargate is finishing from MaxPax. As our Adept and Phoenix continue from MaxPax as well. It's gonna be seeing our Adept comes forward, gonna grab a Marine. That Reaper's like, oh, that Adept's low. I'm going to start chasing its shade, but this is a new Adept! Tag team! And now the Reaper's like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. Well, the Adept dies for the Reaper, which kind of loses itself to the Cyclone, so I guess the Reaper doesn't mind too much. He created an opportunity for a kill. This other Adept now doesn't have a tag team. He's like, crap. I tagged out, my partner got killed from full HP. I really am in trouble. The team is Liquid. It's Liquid. Team Liquid. One of the biggest teams out there. They've taken on this LQD tag lately. I guess it's probably to do with some of their other games and needing like a proper 3-letter tag for like some of the other games, and probably deciding Liquid like that is not a bad way to go about it, and it really isn't, right? I mean, if you say it out loud, it is Liquid, right? Liquid? Liquid? I guess. I think once you know it, you see it, right? TL is better. Yeah, well, yeah, for Team Liquid, right? But I don't think they don't try and call themselves Team Liquid as much anymore right now. They call themselves like Liquids a lot more, I think. I don't know. I think one of the things was that they used to ask the players to have like Liquid in front of their name, so it would be like Liquid, like a laser or Liquid Kelazhur, but like there's not enough characters in games to do that. So instead, by using the clan tag of Liquid instead of TL, it's like it says Liquid Kelazhur still, which is kind of what they want, I think. I don't know what exactly it is, but I can understand there's reasons why they probably went for it in a bunch of different ways, perhaps. Clem has Lem before his name. Yeah, well, he has Liquid Clem in his name, though, right? So he can, because his name's short enough to write Liquid in front of, Kelazhur's isn't. It's like Euthermal changed to Liquid Thermi because in-game he couldn't write Liquid Euthermal. It's not enough tags. So I wonder if it's just that. It might be. Kelazhur is pushing, poking, 3 Cyclones and 2 Vikings hanging out. We have our units of Kelazhur going to rotate around the left-hand side. A Nexus building from MaxPax in the bottom right-hand corner, and This Ob's just spotting the Cyclone coming through. We get some lock-ons here. Phoenix could maybe lift if they want it. Obviously, you've already locked on to the pilot. Oh! Just as we Corona Boost, we lose power to the Stargate. Now we're going to lose the Cybercore as well. Not a bad start at all for Kelazhur. Very hopeful start, honestly. He's also going to kill a gateway. This push is unstoppable. It's actually kind of wild, because obviously you're just a bit afraid of maybe bringing these units out to the left. So, yeah, MaxPax losing a whole chunk of stuff here early. The structure's going down. Oh my god, another pylon that's in range of these two Cyclones. That's all going to go down as well. Is there ever a point here where Kelazhur stuck around too long? Yeah, obviously, if MaxPax chooses to attack into him, they could go very wrong very quickly. As Phoenix coming across, some SCVs begin to drop. At least there's a nice counterattack to keep Kelazhur very honest about his economy, at least slow down this third CC. And the Phoenix saying, cool, well, you did some damage to me, let me do some damage to you, and all is fair in this world of StarCraft 2. The Phoenix are kind of low energy, though, and still in combat about to finish. Is there a world we get across the map and do some serious damage? It does feel like there might be. 9 SCVs going down is pretty serious, though. It is just expensive to lose out to the, Yeah, it is just expensive to lose out to Phoenix, man. Phoenix running through your base is obviously kind of nasty. They can do a lot of damage for sure. Vikings, Cyclones, Marines continuing the Marauders as well down to the south. You have our Phoenix going to show back up into the main where they're going to go after a couple more SCVs. 2 SCVs going down, make it 3. Take a Widow Mine with you. Why the hell not? And I think it's going to come back around the right side for the moment. As Kelazhur's pushing. Now he's got 2 medevacs heading to the main. Phoenix are out of position to deal with that. We recall the Phoenix. I love Kelazhur's response. Just going to drop down, cancel his 4th. Get the whole army together. You've already kind of forced the Phoenix to recall. There's no point to try and do more than this. You know, obviously, pushing into the natural is a big question mark as well, because that's a natural that's kind of tough to do much about. It's going to be seen. A difficult spot for Kelazhur to kind of press this issue further on, and so probably just going to sit back for a bit and deny the 4th if he can, and probably, if anything, fight around that 4th base more than the 3rd. Still Bioforces. Still committed to stay on the map, though. I guess not really much reason not to. If Phoenix go across the map, it's not like the Bioforce is going to be the best thing to chase it around and chase it away. You know, Phoenix will just run to where the bio unit's on and the mineral lines and stuff, so... That was a Stalker with the mine, which is nice. So yeah, this Observer, by the way, is just scouting this army's every move, just consistently sticking by it. Absolutely non-stop. Go back down through the center. Cyclone with a good lock on to a few Phoenix. Take some hits. We see a couple of extra. Knight Templar walked into an Archon. So let's see our bio army going to get up this ramping. Now we're going to start a little bit of a committed pressure. We kill off the pylon with the warp in. Phoenix, what are we going to do here? What do we actually want to lift off? It's kind of weird. The Widow Mines are in the wrong place. The Widow Mines are on the wrong ramp, but I feel like Kelazhur is still pretty decently anyway. It's the Colossi that are the real issue, and obviously as you try to retreat, that's where the Phoenix can find some extra value too. And I think this is the point where Kelazhur just needs, at the very least, some Ghosts, if not some Vikings as well, as the Widow Mines actually connect quite nicely there, but man, his army's kind of low HP. What if MaxPax just goes right now? Yeah, it's one of those fights that we kind of saw in the last game as well, where MaxPax might just say, oh, that was good enough, now I just commit. The 4th base is building. I think we're waiting for an Observer here to clean out these mines, and then we're just going to go across the map. I'd be surprised if he hung back right now. Although maybe if it's taking him too long to clean these mines out, he might decide just to stick around. No, he's going to go. He's at least going to pressure, because Kelazhur has finally given up on being on the map for the first time in a while, so MaxPax is like, well, let me test the waters on that. Recall available if I need to get back home quickly, so it allows me to move forward here. He does see the army for now is on the right side mostly as well with the Zealot, so he gets good information on this. And this fight is not too different from the previous one. We're going to get rid of the Widow Mines straight away, so there's no mines, there's no Ghosts in the MP still. 2 Vikings don't make much of a difference, and this Phoenix will protect the Colossi from the Vikings anyway. I think MaxPax has more than enough running through right now to close out Game 2, tie us up, and to take us to one final map here tonight in this best of 3. MaxPax convincing. As we come forward, a couple of SCVs going down. Widowmine's trying to burrow up. The Ghost Academy will protect them for a moment. I'm not sure if we can even get units out right now that will make the difference here, in all honesty, as let's continue through. Colossi are there, Phoenix are fighting. Extra round of units just warping in from MaxPax, but I cannot see this being a game that turns around anytime soon. As Azal's come forward, a couple of Widowmine shots going off, 10 SCVs are dead already. We'll go on to Game 3. Says the chat, says me, says MaxPax. Probably says Kelazhur in a moment or two. He's going to stim in. This has to be his final attempt to fight. Unless a miracle happens, like the Colossi or Dyna Marauders. GG, well played. Game 3 it is. Alright, guys. Maybe what, like, say, like, 15 hours the next 3 days, 105. DreamHack week will probably get, like, 10 to 15, like, 150, 10 to 20 hour month. Not bad. Not bad considering it's DreamHack, and I also was away for the first few days because of TSL, so. Top right, here's a MaxPax, our blue Protoss player. And the bottom left, our red Terran Kelazhur. When do I normally get to bed? It kind of depends. For a while, sometimes I go into like phases of going to bed kind of early, like I say early, but like 11 till midnight with the girlfriend. Sometimes I get into phases of doing stuff late at night. At the minute, I'm kind of on a later schedule. I've been watching some NFL late at night, and then I've been playing in some Pokemon tournaments late at night as well. Because that's when I have the time to sit down peacefully and to do that stuff, so yeah. So then I sometimes go to bed like 3 to 4 a.m. That used to be like my norm, going to bed at like 3 to 4. When I lived in my apartment, I was playing a lot of WoW. I was going to bed at like 5 or 6 a.m. a lot of the time, and waking up at like 11 get 11 to stream. So yeah, I kind of used to, honestly, like, it's kind of funny, but, like, if you give me, like, a couple of days of going to bed, like, late and waking up on, like, 5.5, 6 hours sleep, my body adjusts very well to it. I actually feel like sometimes I operate a lot better off 6 hours sleep than I do off, like, 7 to 8 hours sleep. Did I say watching what? NFL? Yes, I watch NFL. It's obviously late at night for us if you watch the late night games. Be on an adventure. Reaper on the map. Zoom, 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 little Reaper. Where are you at? Game 3, inside and out, guys, as we as go on another factory-based expand from Kelazhur, so doing similar to what we've seen before. And this map will decide first place in this group, slight seeding difference. Obviously, second place we know faces off against Spirit. We don't know who first place faces off against just yet. In this, because of the results group B not being known, but as soon as the series ends, about, I guess, like 20 minutes after, we'll probably know. 10 to 20 minutes after, probably about 10. Well, I have to zoom through some replays and check some scores, so I have to do that, I suppose, but I guess however long that takes, you guys can do that with me, though. Council about to finish up on the side of MaxPax. We have our 2 Reapers and a Hellion going to show up to try and deal some damage. Stalker taking some hits, Hellion dead already. This isn't going to be any probes going down, unfortunately. It's more important to have consistent go to bed and wake up times than X hours of sleep no matter what. Yeah, that doesn't really work with my schedule, though. Because sometimes, like, even if I get then like a habit of going to bed at like 11 till midnight, sometimes if I then work until 10 p.m. or 11 p.m., I don't want to go to bed as soon as I'm finished working. I want some time to de-stress and do my own thing, you know? And also, if I'm casting late at night, I don't like going to bed early the night before because then I like to wake up later, you know? So, I don't know. consistent sleep schedules don't really work for me unless I'm in like a very consistent, they only really work for me if I'm in like a very consistent, like casting schedule for like a week or so. Yeah. Need downtime before bed. Yeah, no. That's why I'm kind of worried about casting DreamHack Atlanta, because we're not going to Atlanta to cast it. We're casting it from Sweden, and like we're gonna be casting until like 6 a.m. Our call time is gonna be like 2 p.m. and then what? We're gonna finish casting at like 6 a.m. in the morning and have to get home and like instantly go to sleep. Like I feel like my brain's not gonna do that. It's gonna be interesting. Blink finishing up as our Prism is going to be on the way out, so a bit of pressure from MaxPax. 4 gates, but a pretty quick third, so he still kind of bypasses like the warp in here to be able to get that third down so quickly, so it's not as aggressive as it could be. But if he does start to do good damage, he can obviously continue to deal very good damage here. As these Stalkers continue down the map, MaxPax on the move. On the hunt to try and get something done. To the left, and we have got the Stalkers jumping up into the main. So the siege tank here, bio units coming across, and just going to be having the stim available. Prism gets locked onto by the Cyclone, and we're just going to be seeing a good defense so far. Yo, Prism dead? Oh, what a shutdown from Kelazhur. This really nullifies the aggression. I mean, even if you've got this Observer for vision, you're still missing the... Even with the Observer for vision, you're still missing the actual ability to warp in extra units, right? MaxPax loses 1 Stalker here. That shouldn't be happening. And Kelazhur didn't even expend a stim in this situation. Yeah, this is a terrifying push. Oh, he's going to pull the boys. I love it, man. Like, MaxPax probably feels like he loses that Prism. He's like, right, scrap the warp-ins. Let's just get everything else going, which is exactly what he does. So he doesn't really get the value off of the 4-gate Blink Stalker initially. And then on top of that, he's now building up into other things that aren't going to help him defend this attack with the SCVs. Sentries are nice, but how much time is that really going to buy you as Kelazhur can definitely now move through the other side. +1 not far from finishing. He does not have a starport. He does not have medevacs. I actually just don't know if you can defend this, though. Sentries don't have the energy to drop many force fields. I mean, that one force field's great. It keeps so many SCVs away. You get to the high ground here. Robo's going to be in range of the tanks. The bio just get on top of Stalkers. And just leaving the tanks to kind of hit the Robo a bit. Pulls back over here. Going to get a couple more Zealots warping in. Charge is about to be done. Do we have enough from Kelazhur? Remember, every stim he uses cannot be healed from. So it is very costly. And I'm kind of a bit worried that he didn't get more of the Stalkers killed off in that scenario. Still has a lot of SCVs to protect and reinforcements rallying across the map. MaxPax no way to intercept those. Actually, MaxPax supply blocked right now. What a time to go for the fight, though, too. The tanks were on siege, and the Zealots are going to flank this army. Kelazhur's SCVs are doing what they can. Will the tanks survive? Yes. If the tank's alive, you've got to kind of believe, right? And Kelazhur looking for his own 7-0 in this group. He's going to have it. I believe he's going to have it. Push on through. These probes and Zealots still going down. Got these couple of Stalkers still being picked off. Yeah, guys, this is it, isn't it? This is it! Kelazhur. Gonna get the Observers. That last Stalker dropping down here. We're trying to sneak some pylons to power these gateways. We've got Zealots running in from the other side, but it is not enough. GG's, and Kelazhur takes the 2-1 victory over MaxPax. Finishes first place.